Well, they had told us there was going to be a new Arkbreak, and it magically just popped in on us. It was kind of nice and unexpected. We all knew it was going to come. They just didn't tell us when, as usual. So we got what we got, and I like it. I've seen some people who don't like this thing. It's a Gulanee Arkbreak, or you can call it a Grid Arkfall if you choose. I think it's a lot of fun. Now I missed the outside portion of this one, which is okay. I got to see the main part of what I wanted to see. Now this is not a new interior, but it's new enough to make me happy. I enjoyed this. I thought it was a lot of fun. And yeah, you're gonna see some skipping around. This is heavily edited because these little communications or telecoms or whatever you want to call them that we're destroying, that kind of look like Arkfall debris. These things have massive health, and I believe they're talking about looking into what they can do about it, because the health it's ridiculous how long we sit there. I heavily had to edit to get this down to a reasonable amount of time because of how long it took to destroy those things. You have to find where the ammo box is right now and park yourself near it, because it takes so many rounds to sit there and get that thing to whatever we're doing with it, breaking it open, destroying it, whatever. But I like this. I like the little sneaky little things that pop in here like this, especially something new like this. Now, this is a lot of work for little reward because it's like a minor. It pays like a minor Arkbreak, because it is a minor Arkbreak, and that's if you want to find one, that's where you have to look, is where a minor Arkbreak would be. Maybe this will come in a major form, which may or may not be scary, because this thing is... I saw some people getting their rears kicked. This thing is serious business, because you're fighting Grid at threat level 10, and the Grid at threat level 10, especially the Crusaders, they are not a joke. They are serious business. I just use my normal little setup here. I use my I have a bio shotgun and a Castethan Springer. That's radiation, and I use that for just about everything these days, because it seems like I can deal with most situations with these two particular guns. So that's what I use for like almost everything, except for like the War Master, which, you know, since they've changed the things about the locks. I know there's some way around it right now, but I've pretty much stopped with the War Master for the time being, because I don't know. I don't know. I guess I could give it a shot, but I'm gonna be wishy-washy about it and sit here and say I don't know, because I don't know. There's other things to do, and I'm spending a lot of time on these Grid emergencies. Just like a lot of other people, I have a hard time finding them, and I don't just look for them. I sit there in known spots, and I just do emergency after emergency after emergency, and doesn't do me that much good. I'm still missing I think it's the Restless Dead. It's just saying that off the top of my head, but that's the one I think I'm missing. I'm missing it twice, actually. Somehow I got it magically once, or when I didn't know that there was any difference, and I was just doing them to do them. And I've never been able to find it again or force it to happen, because I have spent quite a few hours looking for that particular emergency at this point, and I'm beginning to think it's just not worth it at this point. Not worth the 5 ego that I just do not really have to have. But yeah, you need to hop on and check this out, because this is a lot of fun. A new Arkbreak with new enemies. It's a lot of fun. Even a new bad guy. The bad guy's kind of Decuso-like, but... And yeah, I think I changed over. I was using a cluster drop trying to help break those telecommunication things down a little bit faster, because it was ridiculous. It took so long. But yeah, we get this Decuso, this Gulanee guy. He looks kind of like Decuso. I mean, but he's not quite the same. Tons of health, but I mean, we want him to have some health. I mean, that part I don't disagree with. His health is about perfect for what we're doing. They just need to they need to make it where we don't spend the ridiculous amount of time shooting down those telecom things.
That Gulanee is sending out a signal. It's communicating with other modules in the Ark Belt. It thinks it's still in the war. It's calling down other members of its combat team. We've got to destroy it before it can call down more.
Now there's also a nice little story going on with this too about basically they're calling more down, and one is headed for Defiance, so that could be kind of interesting if that leads in with the show. Kind of see what is what's going to happen there if this is going to be that situation. I don't know, I've seen this commercial with like the 4-armed robot-looking thing for the one of the previews for the show. So you're kind of sitting there wondering if maybe that's going to be a Gulanee or something for the show. But that's kind of neat. Hopefully it does tie in. Normally we get this stuff just right before something happens with the show. So maybe we'll get lucky. I would like to see it. It'd be kind of cool. I love it when the two interact properly. Now sometimes it's a little off. You know, I like the shrill grenades. I love the shrill grenades. Not like, I mean, it's about the only grenade I use these days. Where we had a bomb in the show, we got a grenade on the game. Thought that was a little off, but who wants to complain? It's a radiation grenade as far as I'm concerned, and I love that. So I don't use them as often. I'm so cheap. I'm cheap with my equipment. I do not know why. I'm cheap with using my ego power. I'm cheap with my equipment, and there's absolutely no reason for it. You don't see me throw a lot of grenades. You don't see me put down spikes very often. You don't see me use my ego boost very often, and I just don't. It's more of an emergency thing for me. I don't want to do it unless I have to, because I'm always afraid I'll not have it when I need it the most, and that ends up becoming never ever using them because of the way I am with it. There's specific times I'll use them whenever I see a need that might push things forward faster, but yeah, there's no explanation other than just being cheap. I know that's not necessarily it, but and yeah, I invited a friend, so now you got to kick him out of the group because he can't. If he may want to invite somebody, and you don't want to kick him. I mean, you can't wait for him to leave the group because it causes him to leave the instance if he just leaves the group. So you kick him, then he can do what he needs to do. And that's sometimes I have to sit there and think about what I'm doing, and like, because I get invited to a lot of stuff, and I just get so busy playing sometimes I just kind of forget to invite. About halfway through this, I was like, yeah, I guess I could invite somebody here. Other people may be interested in playing this, because this was just a surprise. We were trying to do the weekly contract for the Grid, and somebody said something about, hey, there's Grid at this Arkbreak, come here, and shoot, this was not when I was sitting there outside. I was like, oh, okay, there's nothing here, dude, you killed it all already. And luckily we got inside and found out there was a lot more to it than just whatever he did on the outside. But anyways, hop in, find this, enjoy this. I do, and I'm gonna leave a little bit of the end going on after this, after the Arkbreak is over, because of this game. Sometimes this game, and I don't know how else to say it, but oh, it's gonna throw me right into an emergency. It's like nothing like spawning in and just getting slapped around as soon as you spawn in. But I don't really guess it would be any other way with this game. It's like, well, that's kind of where the Arkbreak was, so now you're yeah, you're here, buddy. The emergency's here. They're gonna beat you around while you're spawning in. But yeah, the guys in black, those are the Crusaders, by the way, and those guys, those are the ones that'll down people. Now, I don't think it was at this one, maybe one a couple later. I was picking people up left and right, it seemed, and I just looked at it. People were going down everywhere. Those Crusaders, I mean, you got the oh, now I can't think of their names, but you got the fire-spitting dogs, and they're causing havoc while the Crusaders are just going to town on you. So, and I like using. That's where I like my grind fragger. Grind fragger really comes in handy against those guys. Takes them down, and you can see it. Look at this. See, he doesn't last long against that bio grind fragger. Granted, I have a ton of rounds in this thing, and this one of those guns where you rolled it a certain way, and you kept, I don't want this, I kept resetting it. It got that +8 mag several times, and finally I realized, you know what? I like the +8 mag in this thing. 16 rounds is better than 8. 8 half kills something, 16 fully kills something. So most everybody, I mean, whenever it comes to a shotgun, everybody goes for reload, and I am guilty in that one. Reload or speed feet, which this had speed feet, but I was like, you know, it's not worth it. It takes too long to reload for that to be useful. And that 8 mag, once I started using it, I left it. I was like, this is too nice. I would put an extended mag on it, but that's not enough. Give me like 1 bullet probably, and that's just not worth it. So, but you see how the chaos it causes. You're trying to kill this boss, and it's kind of like sometimes how a Hellbug one could get, where it's just too chaotic sometimes for you to shoot the boss because everything else is shooting at you. And they kind of did that here. You kind of have to clean away some of the mess, and then you can go for the boss. There was one earlier where we were hitting the boss pretty hard. It seemed like the enemies weren't hitting us as hard. I probably did like 4 or 5 of these, if you're wondering. Yeah, because they are a lot. I enjoy them. I can't say they're a lot of fun because somebody else made it. I have somebody else saying, how do you like those? Those are horrible. But this is a lot of fun to me. It's chaotic. It's just a lot of murdering going on, and it's solid fun. This is kind of what we want to play. You've got all these people here fighting with you, with all this business going on, getting slapped around. And yeah, I'm gonna kill what I thought slapped me around, but that's what makes Defiance fun for me. It's what keeps me playing. You know, to me, this is a lot more fun than, say, the Monolith. Yeah, I love the Monolith. Who doesn't love the payday that the Monolith can give? But this is, I mean, and even the War Master isn't, to me, the War Master isn't fun like this. The War Master was never this kind of excitement and fun for me. But you know, people go and they open the boxes, and I don't know where they're at yet. This was my first one, so I'm like, okay, there's 1, there's 2, but I don't know if there's 2 or 3. And I'm kind of look around here, and I don't see a 3rd box. So I guess there is a 3rd box. So that's what had me. That's what it was. I knew there was something about this. It's the weapon sucked. It didn't. I didn't know what it was going to give me. I've had some give me nothing but Volge weapons, and then this just gave me 2 regular old weapons. So I think I was expecting more than 3 with how long this was and everything. I was like, really, I would have expected a lot more. And then I'm gonna have to censor out another spot because me goofing around, playing around, rolling around right here, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. So I'm just gonna end up cutting it out. I'm gonna swap classes, and it's gonna allow me to teleport out as I'm swapping. And now I just cut that out just because didn't want to add in all the struggle of me being an idiot getting trapped. But and it doesn't pay that great on keys, but it's a lot of fun. So I would say go ahead and hop in one of these if you haven't, and check them out. And I will catch you guys later.